Hey there, Rivet family. Happy Wednesday. 18-minute AMRAP on tap for you today. Each round today starts with a nice big set of wall balls, 45 in fact. Then a good chunk of calories on the rower directly after that. And then we're moving on to the deadlifts for a set of 15 pretty heavy ones today. Ideally, we're shooting to get 2+ at least, maybe in as high as 3+ rounds today. So pick your weights and variations appropriately in order to get that. What do we got today? So the things I want you to think about are your setup position, right? Setup position for each movement, and then as well as the timing of the knee bend, right? So we're going to focus on setup position and what our knees are doing in each movement. So first off, wall balls. We don't talk about this a lot, but distance from the wall is very important. You don't want to be too close. You don't want to be too far away from the wall. Standard here, and you're welcome to try this out. Ball in hands, arms straight, touch the ball to the wall, and this is kind of our ideal situation for most people. I see a lot of people actually get too close to the wall, and so they end up kind of like craning their neck and looking straight up. So try ball in hands, arms straight, start there. When you're doing your warm-up, feel free to move that in slightly, but try to stick right about there. It's a good position. And then remember, for wall balls, part of our setup position, we want the hands underneath the ball and the elbows underneath the ball. This transfers power better. We have the hands on the outside of the ball like this, the elbows turn out. We really can't transfer the power from the legs as well to the ball. So hands and elbows underneath, we go up, all right? And then the knee bend on that one. We want to make sure we actually catch the ball before we start that next squat, right? We want to make sure we're not starting the squat when the ball's all the way down, because that way we catch the ball, our knees have already stopped and kind of tend to drop forward. So actually find contact with the ball at the front rack position before you go into that next squat. Rowing and deadlifts, very similar to one another. Set up on the rower, right? So our catch position where we start from. Things with the setup here, just like the deadlift, so I don't want to repeat myself. So deadlift and row, we want those feet fully flat, right? Particularly the heels. We don't want those heels up. This helps us gauge posterior chain, right? Glutes and hamstrings. On the row in particular, we want to be leaned slightly forward in our catch position, right? See how my shoulders are slightly ahead of my hips? This is a good thing, right? Shoulders ahead of the hips. This puts us in a good position too. Head is in a neutral position right here, right? I'm not down, I'm not up, just looking kind of straight ahead. This is a good setup position for our row, right? So start here and try to end back up here on every stroke. Bending in the knees. We finish our drive, get to the finish, and we need to get that handle ahead of the knees. Close the hips back up before we bend the knees, right? Common fault here as we get to the finish. The knees bend, the handle has to come up and over the knees. Not good, bad position. So we want to get to the finish, release, lean forward, bend the knees, right? So that's when the knees bend on that one. And then deadlift time. Good setup here. And this same rules apply to whether you're lifting a heavy kettlebell or a dumbbell or whatever. So here's what we're looking for. Much like on the rower, feet are fully flat on the floor, particularly the heels, but the whole foot. We're relatively close to the bar. Vertical shins to start. And our setup here, hands are just wide enough to go outside the knees. Shoulders are just a little bit over the hips. Hips are a little bit over the knees, right? So our back's not totally flat to the floor. We're not dropping down like this. Kind of like a little triangle thing from the side. And then we are keeping the bar nice and close as it goes up. Now knees, see if I can do this on camera here. We want to make sure those knees stay back, right, out of the way of the bar until the bar passes the knees, and then they can come forward a little bit, right? So we don't want to bend the knees too soon. It's something you see sometimes here is top position. The knees bend first. This is just like the rower. Then the bar has to go around the knees, bringing the weight too far forward and away from the body. So keep those knees back, keep them back, keep them back, keep them back until the bar passes, and then they can come forward a little bit, all right? So good setup, and when the knee bend occurs in each movement, things to focus on.
All right, there you go. Have fun with this one, guys. Work hard. Talk to you later.